You're here to receive a very special psychic prescription, much like a weather report, for how to best work with the universal energies that will be present this week. And that's the week from the 21st of March to the 27th of March 2020. I'm Kylie Savage Psychic, and this is the weekly Oracle card reading. If you are new to this channel, then welcome. And if you've been watching along for a while, then welcome back. If you are new, I'd love for you to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit that little bell so that you get notified of when these videos come out. And to those of you who have been giving me some wonderful positive feedback, letting me know how these readings are assisting and supporting you and being of real practical support and benefit to you by giving me that feedback in the comments under this video, thank you. I really, really do appreciate it. And I want to give a shout out to Kathy, Beck, and Jennifer. It's heartwarming for me to be able to read your comments and know that my work is actually reaching people and it's having a positive effect. That's all that I can really ask for. Okay, so if you're new as well, then what I need for you to do right now, and for everybody watching this video, is go ahead and intuitively choose a number between 1 and 4, and you can do that now. Okay, I need for you to remember your number because that will be the number of the card that's going to have a message for you that's just a little bit more pertinent and relevant for whatever's going on with you and your life this week, or whatever themes are sort of relevant to you in your life at this moment. Okay, so we have 4 cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. And then I'm also pulling 1 card from Angela Hartfield's Nature's Whispers Oracle and 1 card from Doreen Virtue's Angels Answers Oracle. Before I get into the reading, I just have a little bit of news for you. I'm currently running a special offer, and you can find out about that by sending me an email, kyliesavagepsychic@gmail.com, or going over to my Facebook page and liking and following it. Now, the special offer is for my Zoom practice readings, but I didn't want people who aren't comfortable with Zoom or don't know how to use Zoom or don't want to use it for whatever reason. I didn't want you guys to miss out. So I'm also offering the same special as an email reading. So they are 1-question psychic readings and they are $35 Australian. All my online work is prepaid. And why it's a special offer is I no longer do what I call mini readings, which were 1-question readings. Now I only ever do a full reading, which is between 1 and 3 questions, and that's at my standard price. Now, terms and conditions apply. I do fully guarantee my work, and offers prices and things like that are subject to change. So I also have a website. At the moment, it's www.kyliesavagepsychic.weebly.com, and you can find a link to that on my Facebook page. On my Facebook page, you can also sign up for my newsletter. Now, I will be giving that list a lot of love. Yes, it's been very slow to start off with. I've just had lots of other things on my plate at the moment and haven't got to the newsletter list. But if you've signed up and you're thinking, what's happening here? Don't worry. I'm getting to it very, very soon. It's gone up and down on the to-do list and it's getting back towards the top. So yes, that's a great way to stay in touch with me, find out more about my work. I'm also going to be delivering a mini free psychic development course through that newsletter. So you need to subscribe to receive that. Okay, let's get into our reading. I was talking to somebody just a few, moments ago about one of my favorite cards in the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And it's also my power number, number 3. So if you pick card number 1, you've chosen our anchor card, which is Between Worlds. And you'll notice that it's upside down. That's how it normally looks. The card's upside down. So when cards are upside down, we call that protection position. We call that we say that the card is in protection position. Now, what I want for you to remember is oracle cards are not like tarot. Yes, they're based on a sort of fusion between tarot and Lenormand cards, and they are something else, of themselves. They're an evolution of themselves, and yet when you get reversed cards in tarot, the message is quite flipped and it can be quite dire. Oracle cards are not like that, not this deck anyway. So I love what Colette says, the maker of this deck, about cards and protection. She says that cards in protection are an extra hug from the universe, assisting and supporting you to course correct. Forgive my tongue tiredness today. It's been a really long day. I'm doing this reading, by the way, on the 21st. It's just very late for me. Okay, so as our anchor card, Between Worlds in Protection, I'm going to exactly read it for you from the guidebook because I love the message. Be mindful of your expectations. Are you listening, Harley? Expectations been a big theme for me in my life recently. Okay, this is not a time for guarantees. Things will not go exactly as you plan or dictate. I can see this resonating with a lot of people at the moment. Let go and see let go and see what Spirit has in store. What takes hold in your life will be better than you can imagine. I don't know about you. I feel a big sense of relief when I hear that message. And I absolutely adore that card. It is one of my favourite cards in the deck, and I don't very often see it in protection. When it's upright, I love that the flamingo is moving towards all their good. So, we're right in the middle of a lot of things at the moment, and those of us who are very, very sensitive, intuitive souls, we're feeling this. We're feeling so much at the moment. Those of us who are deeply empathic, we are really possibly in it at the moment. And I do want you to up-level your self-care and, think about boundaries and bubbles and cleansing and clearing your energy and things like that, because it's going to assist you. So, Between Worlds in Protection, we really need to hand everything over to Spirit. Remember that we're co-creators. We are not in this alone. And when you look at sort of the bigger picture, and I'm looking through the lens and the filter of all the things I've read before, all the things Spirit has taught me, my work over, almost 17 years doing this, and being born a very intuitive psychic child, I'm looking back, and with my lenses and the reminders, the things even I've taken in today, is we are all exactly where we need to be right in this moment. And yes, sometimes it's difficult to hear messages like that. Yeah, please remember what I was saying last week. What if all this is happening for us? Let's be open to all our good. I think it was Louise Hay. I used to write this on my mirror as well. Louise Hay had the saying that only good experiences lie before me. Things like that really do assist me in tough, challenging times like this. Okay, here and now, the next right action to take. If you chose number 2, this is card number 2. It's also in protection position. And what that's saying is, if we are going into the future worrying, catastrophizing, projecting, or if we're going back to the past and we're living with shame and guilt and regret, or the would haves or could haves or should haves, then none of that is helpful to us. We need to bring things right into the present moment. Peace is a present moment activity. Patricia King said that in her book, Your Life Matters. Excellent book. Go get it and read it. All your power lies in the present moment. can't remember where I heard that. Spirit told me that a long time ago. Spirit showed me something, and I was coming back from an event with a friend, and I just said to her, you know what? I said, you know when we can change our lives? She was like, when? I said, now. I said, in this moment, that's where everything is happening, and this is where we change our lives, in this moment. And I was realizing, in hindsight, the Spirit were teaching me about the power of the present moment. There is loads of information on this stuff. Go and have a look. And if you get stuck and you're really, really lost, get in touch with me. I can hook you up with plenty of helpful resources. So, connect with the breath. That is the very best way I know to anchor myself in the present moment. David G. He is the meditation teacher of my heart. He's the only person I've been able to learn meditation thoroughly and well with. I've learned a blend of transcendental meditation from him. Go and look at davidg.com, and David G's meditations and chanting mantras, which you can learn in other places as well. That's been the tool that's assisted and supported me to train my mind. Remember, your mind, your brain is an evolutionary tool that you need to learn how to use so you don't get used by it. The mind at the moment, and the global conscious mind, or more the global unconscious mind, would have us stay in panic, stay in the future. There's nothing we can do about tomorrow. It's not here yet. There's nothing we can do about the past. We're not living there. We're here in this moment. What can you do in this moment? And I love that the cards in the flow system. Number 1 card is the anchor card. The second card is the next right action to take. Go and look at Glennon. I got her name wrong. I think it's Glennon Melton Doyle when you look up her TED Talk on YouTube. Go and look at her TED Talk. And about 11 minutes in, she talks about taking the next right action. And I love the way that she says it. Lots of people are talking about all the things we need to hear, and sometimes you just hear it in a voice that you can take it in with. So be open, because whatever message you need, Spirit are going to make sure you get it, and you'll get it in a way that you can actually hear it. And sometimes, we need to be saturated. We need to be, really bathing in the wisdom until we can take it in. Here and now. Stay present, folks. Serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity, accept things I cannot change, courage to change things I can, wisdom to know the difference. Very good. Bring you into the moment. Co-create. If you pick number 3, this is your card, and this card is our future possible outcome. It's in the upright position. I really love the message here. These cards, the cards that I've pulled out, they're pulling together a really beautiful story in motion. Spirit are demonstrating how much they are meeting us where we are at. And this is why I love reading oracle cards. Co-create. So let's be mindful about what we are co-creating with Spirit. Let's use our creativity, because that's what we are. We're imaginators. We were made in God's imagination, or goddess's imagination, and we are, incredibly highly creative, productive people. We have this amazing capacity for imagination, so we need to use that wisely. Stay in that present moment, create from that space. You don't want to be creating from your projections or from your regrets and your shame and your guilt and all that stuff. It's not the best place to co-create from. I think enough of us, especially if you're watching this channel, are aware of that. And please don't give yourself a hard time if you are, and if you're dealing with the co-creations, if you're, coming from fear or coming from guilt and shame, please don't give yourself a hard time about that. Just come back in that present moment. Wipe your slate clean, energetically speaking, and move on from here. Now, you're going to get a lot of support to do that. So co-create, and it's number 4, like 40. Should we break that down to a 4, which is about foundations. And the year 2020 breaks down to a 4, and that's about foundations. So I feel like Spirit wants us to keep getting this message. Let's create these new foundations. Let's think about what we're co-creating, why we're co-creating it, how we're doing it, and let's go on from here. Okay, and the card that gives us some more details about the rest of the story. It kind of fills in the gaps. And when I pull cards, I'm always asking for further insights and clarity, especially with the 5th and 6th cards. So if you pull card number 4, it's mending. Now, Spirit is saying this is an opportunity to make amends, and I want you to put yourself at the top of the amends list. So where have you perhaps let yourself down lately? Where perhaps have you been giving yourself a hard time? Where perhaps could you have been a little bit kinder to yourself, a little bit more compassionate and loving? How have you not met your own needs? And let part of this amends be about addressing that. Because remember, we can't control other people, but we can keep everything here with us, and we can control our response to stimulus, to outside events. The only disclaimer I have with that is anything you actually are powerless over and you have no control over. And that's where we bring in our co-creator, the divine, and we ask that they give us the power. So, mending. Once you've addressed yourself, the amends you need to make to yourself. Remember, amends is a lot more than apology. Apology may be a part of it. Amends is about making things right. There are wrongs, these 2 little fairies and girls, and they're mending the banner. So something has broken, something's been damaged, been torn. It's not the same as what it was. And we need to do all we can to fix it, to mend what was broken. And sometimes the difficulty in making amends is it seems like there's nothing we can do. I've made amends to people who have passed on. I've made graveside amends. I've made amends to people I'm no longer in contact with. I write out a letter, an amends letter to them, and then I burn it. Like I used to read it out with my sponsor. I might read it out with a trusted person or a counsellor, somebody who's going to keep my confidence, and then I'll burn the letter. So we can do this, people. And the thing is, once you've made the amends the best that you can, it's not about getting anything for you, and yet there is a release. Something, it's about healing. And I can't hurt somebody else without hurting myself. So I'm addressing the wound to the other person and myself. It's a big deal. It really is. And to me, this card's come up now because we're cleaning up the mess. And amends is about saying, right, here's the thing that's happened. This is the way I best understand, what I possibly have done wrong, because we don't always know the ways that we have hurt people. That's why we need to listen. That's why amends can be so difficult, even direct amends. Some of the hardest things I've ever done in my life is make direct amends to people, because it's about being honest and open and sitting there and listening to all the ways we may have affected somebody else. So anyway, you may not know, or you may not be able to contact the person, or it may not be safe to contact the person. You've got to make those decisions, but it's about cleaning up our side of the street. And when we can do that, and when we demonstrate our willingness to do that, things change. It's not about, we never make perfect amends. It just doesn't exist. Like anything else that's perfect, it just doesn't exist. Yet if we demonstrate our willingness, the honesty, the openness, and the willingness to make amends, we're going to experience a positive difference. And I can say that from personal experience. I'm never talking out my butt, people, you know that. Okay, so from the Nature's Whispers Oracle, we have, look at this, clear out the old. Isn't this lovely? These really are the most beautiful cards. We have the owl there for wisdom. We have a lock and key. We have, I'd say it's Lady Justice, who is blind. We have Stonehenge and a clock, so, about time. So many, like the sundial, so many beautiful references and pieces in this card. I really love the purple bloom too, kind of the unfolding process, pardon me. So, look at this time as a time to clean messes up. And why would we want to clean out the old? Because we need to make way for the new. People are, at the moment are thoroughly cleaning their workplaces, their homes, everything. And you know what? I think on a metaphysical level, this cleansing and clearing and sanitizing things is a good step in the right direction. I think that's part of our healing. We're looking at and taking responsibility for our world, and we're looking at the condition and the state of it. One of the biggest things I found, which is having an impact on me, is people sharing photos of nature and the quietness. I read a post from somebody who was in Wuhan in China, and they said they could hear the birds. And they said they knew that there were birds, they're in an apartment building. They knew that there were birds around, but they'd never actually heard them before. Because once the traffic's quiet, the foot traffic, the, mechanized traffic, once the plane traffic was quieter, it's like nature is like saying, hey, we're here. You can hear us now, you can see us. There's some incredible things happening at this time, and I don't think it's wrong to point that out and to be looking for the positive, to be opening our eyes up to what is actually happening. And if you're at home, if you're self-isolating, I said that last week, it's a great time to declutter. Clearing out the old could be decluttering. I had an idea. Things a lot of people are hoarding, and I'm not giving anyone grief about that, and I don't think they should give themselves grief either. I think that we need to look at faith when it comes to hoarding. If you don't have any faith that there's always enough, God is your supply, yeah, you're going to be hoarding. And you're going to give into that impulse to hoard, because I think we all have that. Let's be honest about it. What was I saying? Oh, my idea was, if you're decluttering your cupboards and you've got food or shopping items in your cupboards that you no longer need, I'm sure somebody's already thought about this. What about offering those to people who do need them? It's a win-win. It's decluttering and it's supplying someone else's need and being of service. I thought that was a great idea. I'm actually going to put it into practice. I have a pantry and a fridge that desperately need cleaning out. Okay, so clear out the old, and be super kind to yourself when you do that. It's not an easy process. And have fun with it. Put some music on, make a nice cup of tea, ritualize it a bit. Okay, and ask your angels. That's our 6th card. Your angels want for you to know they are here for you more than ever. Remember, we have free will. Angels don't intervene unless in certain circumstances where, like, they save your life. Personal experience, I know all about that. People who have had near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, they will often talk about angels being there for them as well. Okay, yet, for the most part, angels don't go around interfering. They don't go around doing things that, would be intrusive and counterproductive. They're not control freaks. They're your angels. Your angels want for you to ask them. Now, one of the best ways you can ask your angels to assist and support you with anything and everything that's going on for you at the moment is say, thank you, angels, ... Thank you, angels, for meeting my needs. Thank you, angels, for providing the car parking space. Thank you, angels, for assisting and supporting me to have the very best experience when I go shopping. Wouldn't it be so nice if everything I need is on the shelf and it has a yellow ticket next to it on special, under grace in a perfect way? Remember my magic words. Okay, angels. Your guardian guardian angels. If you listen to Radley Valentine, you have more than one guardian angel. They want for you to know, deep breath, right in this moment, how much they love you, support you, how much they are working towards your good. They are keeping you safe, they are keeping you well, they are working hard behind the scenes to make sure that things happen for you in the best possible way. Ask them for assistance. Don't beg. Don't say, oh God, angels, please. Never beg. State your prayers as an affirmation in the affirmative. Thank you, angels, for ... If you're really stuck and you don't know how to do any of this, get in touch with me. I'll help you. Okay, Another thing I need to tell you about is on the 24th of March for the Southerners, that is the new moon in Aries. That is the beginning of the astrological new year. I love that. If you would like all the details about that, I've been reading from my Moonology 2020 diary by Yasmin Boland. Thank you, Yasmin. I love this. I love this book. It's fantastic. Okay. London, 24th of March, 9:28. Sydney, 24th of March, 2028. These are the times. Los Angeles, 24th of March, 02:28. New York, 24th of March, 5:28. So, we're here at the new moon in Aries. This occurs just once in 2020, and it's the moment of the year to recommit to anything that matters to you. It's more or less a restart time, the astrological new year, and in 2020, it's also important as it takes in the energy building between the two mighty planets, Jupiter and Pluto. Sometimes we mere mortals need to make massive changes in our lives. Couldn't come at a better time, could it? And it could be argued that those changes could start here. If you are interested in moon manifesting, go and get the Moonology book by Yasmin Boland, or see if you can get yourself the Moonology diary from 2020. Or hit me up, talk to me about that. I will definitely be making some new moon in Aries wishes. And I'm an Aries and I want to say happy birthday to all the Aries. Wouldn't it be so nice if you get to celebrate your birthday and you have a fantastic birthday, best one ever, under grace in a perfect way. I'm trusting that you receive something here from this video that will assist and support you in your week. I'm sending you so many blessings, and I'll talk to you next week. See ya. I still need to look to press the button. See ya.